Hey everyone, Mark Lozano here, Christ Center Capital. Uh, Today we're just going to do a quick video on a little bit of a market update. Going to try to make this a regular thing as we move forward. Maybe do one or two market updates a week, especially during this time where things are really volatile, things are really crazy. You know, you got the war in Ukraine, you got the Fed talking about more rate hikes. You got a lot of things going on, and there's a lot of information to take in, and it can be tough to digest all of it. And hopefully, I can be here to help you along with that. If you're interested in more market information, especially from a Christian perspective, like C3 tries to deliver, go to the website, sign up for the newsletter. We'd really appreciate it. It's a great way to get that information. It's completely free. You know, the thing that we charge for on Christ Center Capital is our reports of what timely investments are making it into our moral screenings. But if you're just looking for timely market information, go to christcentercapital.com, sign up for the newsletter. It's free. Please do so. But with all that said, let's get into it. First things first, on the Christ Center Capital website, it's a new month. With new month comes new charities. So last month, April, Live Action, a great pro life organization run by Leela Rose, won the donation. Made that donation just a couple of days ago, it being the 4th of April today when this video is being posted. Now, C3 donates 50% of net profits every single month to a vetted charity that our subscribers get to vote on. So this month, we have two charities, the Salesian Missions and Samaritan's Purse, both of which are both donations to these charities, or one of the donations to these charities, or rather, these charities right now, the donations going to them are going to support people in Ukraine. So Salesian Missions is an awesome organization, Christian organization, and they're helping Ukrainian refugees find homes that are the people that are fleeing the country. And then you have Samaritan's Purse. They're literally on the ground doing tent hospitals, evacuating people. They're doing a lot of great work. And just so people know, we do this vote to see who gets the larger donation. Both these charities are going to receive something from Christ Center Capital. And the more people who sign up to receive our financial information, the bigger donations we get to make to these charities. So go check out Salesian Mission, Samaritan Purse. Go check out Christ Center Capital. You can vote right here. You know, it just launched literally today. My team updated the site. So go vote, get those charities, and voting helps with the SEO links, right? So that's one of the reasons why we do this charity vote page, because it helps build clout and helps these charities beat those Google algorithms and all that good stuff. So they just get more publicity, which is always a good thing for worthwhile charities. And moving on to more of what the market information is going on right now. So really good like week and a half that we've had in the market. Bad year so far, right? The S&P and Nasdaq and all of the indices are really trending down for the year. It's not been a good look so far for 2022, but there's been a lot of optimism going on in the market as of the past, like, we'll say 2 weeks. And that's because more peace talks are going on in Ukraine. The market kind of ate and digested the first rate hike from the Fed. There's a lot of, and people are just kind of forgetting about the pandemic and COVID in general. So that's why you have a little bit more of optimism in the market, even though the year so far has been kind of bad. And then moving on, we got, I love this piece. And Florida seems like they really got stuff together right now, because Florida lawmakers unanimously approve personal finance education bill. This is happening not just in Florida, but across states all over the country. Mostly conservative states, but a lot of states are getting in on the action, where the pandemic made lawmakers and the U.S. population in general realize we're not very financially savvy as individuals. A lot of people had the pandemic hit, and we weren't prepared for expenses. We weren't prepared on how to navigate with tightened wallets. We kind of, everyone always talks about America and the West are kind of in this state of decadence, where we have so much coming to us all the time. We live in such a lap of luxury, even if we're not millionaires, even though the middle class and lower middle class and everything, they live in a lap of luxury here in the United States. And when times got rough, we really didn't know what to do, and a lot of people really struggled and are still struggling from the pandemic, right? So it's funny because I just said that, you know, the market has really forgot about the pandemic as it starts to these more optimistic views, but individuals have really struggled financially, and lawmakers across the country have realized that. Activist groups have really realized that. So where they're really trying to push these bills where it will mandate high school seniors and juniors and sophomores and stuff like that to start taking financial literacy programs, basically like how to do your taxes 101 and how to budget, 101 and good stuff like that. I wish I had that when I was in school because I kind of learned by myself, like probably everyone watching this video did. But I'm encouraged that schools and lawmakers are really pushing this for the future generations. I think that's really great stuff. And then the House just passed as the headline says it all, the landmark marijuana legislation bill. So this would set aside all criminal penalties for illegal pot use and everything. It's going to make it essentially federally legal. It's going to make marijuana federally legal and kind of take that away from the states in general. This isn't something that's set in stone because it still has to go through the, we'll say, contentious Senate. The Senate, it may not get approved going through there. And cannabis companies are probably really praying that it does, even though it comes with an 8% tax on everything, on cannabis sold products. But cannabis companies across the board have really been hurt. They've all taken dips, especially this year, but really over the past 12 months. So this bill, if passed, would probably be a huge boost to them. Obviously, C3 doesn't condone investing in cannabis stocks or anything like that. But, sorry for the ad, but we do understand that this is real timely market information. This is really pertinent. Like, keep your eyes open and, pay attention to this story because it'll definitely have ramifications across the entire market if it does get approved through the Senate. Next one, the Russia-Ukraine war having devastating effect on food supply. So this is the Goya CEO talking. We love the Goya CEO. He's was a staunch supporter of Trump and a really good conservative guy and everything. But this effect of the food supply because of Ukraine and because of already pre-existing supply chain issues is going to be really devastating. And it's going to be really hard for us as Americans and people in Western first world countries, but it's going to be deadly for a lot of people in sub-Saharan Africa and everything like that because you have this Ukraine breadbasket of the world being devastated with the war with Russia, and then you add in the already pre-existing supply chain issues. The food shortage is going to be felt by everybody, everywhere. It's already being felt. I mean, big brands like Kraft and Kellogg's are really already feeling the hurt because people are starting to choose. They were really starting to do this in the pandemic, but now they're really starting to choose the store brands or generic brands over the name brand stuff because the name brand stuff is just too expensive. Like we've seen price hikes in all of the major, I just mentioned Kraft and Kellogg, but all of them are hiking up prices because wheat and other supplies are just becoming such a rarity to get. I mean, you can probably go to Walmart now and you'll see that even go down the pasta aisle in your typical grocery store, and it's going to be kind of slim pickings. And it's really weird for us as Americans because for years, decades now, we have not had that problem. If you went to the grocery store, you knew they were going to have the thing that you wanted, generally speaking. And now it's kind of hit or miss. So imagine that's an inconvenience to Americans, but to a country with lesser supplies and lesser luxury, it's something that can be very devastating. Now, the oil price. So this is from Market Insiders. This is a really big story going on. Biden is saying he's going to release 180 million barrels of oil probably over the next 6 months to help combat those rising oil prices that pain at the pump. Keep in mind, 180 million, it'll help. It sounds like a lot, but we use 20 million barrels a day in the U.S. So this is essentially 9 days of U.S. consumption. Like I said, it's going to help. Don't get me wrong, but 180 million sounds like a lot more than what it is that our 364 million people in the U.S. actually use. So just keep that in mind. It's probably not as good as the numbers make it sound, and a lot of media try to spin it that way that are more pro Biden administration. And then from the New York Post, this is a really funny story, but it actually has really big implications. So it was always thought that a slice in New York City would cost the same as a subway ride, right, in New York City. It's a kind of a funny economic idea. I'm never going to get into the minutia of it, but people always thought that those were going to be equal to each other. But because of what I just talked about with that I did about the past couple of weeks, they saw an uptick in their portfolio, and they're probably going to see, I'm not making any guarantees here, but they're probably going to see even more of an uptick in the coming weeks, months, because a lot of cool things are probably going to come out of this cryptothon that complement the executive order that the major crypto players really liked. And I can foresee the major cryptos really, really accelerating here. And could be wrong. Never know, no crystal ball or anything. But we have people like Aaron Rodgers, Peter Thiel. I never know if I pronounce his name right, Thiel or Thiel. And then President of El Salvador, Nayib Bukele. I'm not pronouncing his name right. I apologize. But he's the president of El Salvador. A year ago was the one who adopted Bitcoin as the national currency. So he's going to be speaking again at this major crypto palooza event, whatever you're calling it, down in Miami. And there's going to be a lot of buzz that comes out of this event that are probably going to spur more purchases of crypto, which is going to, again, bring up the price of those major players. So that's kind of a nice little market update. The most headline stories that we came up with, there's a million stories we could be talking about, but these were the ones we thought were most pertinent. I hope it gave you some kind of value. Apologize if the video is too long and I'm rambling too much, but hopefully it did give you some kind of value. And I'll just ask you guys again as I close, go to ChristCenterCapital.com. We're only $7 a month. We support some amazing charities.